Morning, gang. Happy Monday to yous. And I hope you had a phenomenal weekend. Do me a favor and let me know where you are tuning in from. And show me sound is working. Tez. Arlita, lovely to see you. Good morning. Happy belated Mother's Day to you. I am going to talk this morning about 10 Commandments for helpers, for those of us who have big hearts, who love to be of support to people. And so I'm waving in the screen right now to say, is that you? Is that you? Are you one of the ones that love to be a support? You're so welcome, Arlita. I hope loads of love came your way and the way of many other a mother out there. I have I have many a mother who has just shared with me, poured into me over the years. And Haroon, welcome. Great to have you on. And yeah, I think our team here at Broken Chains and Live Love Lead get to play a mother role in a lot of people's lives, right? So it's not just, do you have kids? Obviously that's the first one, but it's really more about, hey, have you played a motherly role, a caregiver role in somebody else's life? Hello from Ireland. It's telling me unknown. And yes, I am a helper. Well, we'll take you. Come on in. I'm gonna stick the kettle on. I would if you were here in person. Let's have a virtual cup of tea. How about that? And greetings to you. I am well. Thank you for asking. I am ready for another week. Ready to give you guys some nuggets this morning that will be of help and hope and encouragement to you is my hope. I want to pull up one more window here just so that I can make sure I'm not missing anything, but I'm going to jump right in here in just a second. So hold your horses, and we're going to give you quick fire 10 commandments, Christian helpers, or any helper, to be honest. That's my world, the world of those who have faith, the world of those who believe. Everybody believes in something. Uh, but generally, I find that our Father sends us people who are struggling, who may not be struggling. Well, but yesterday can be a tough day, right? Maybe your mother wasn't here, and she was last year, or there's just a strained relationship with your mother, and so want to just be of support and help to you, around maybe even just some challenges that you might be facing. So whoops, let me pull this. Okay, all right, let's dive in. Okay, 10 Commandments for Christian helpers. Let me okay. Let me give you that here in just a second. Okay. So, help numero uno. Help numero uno is what happens when you go off it, when you leave it. Then, that's not it. I'm ready. I promise you, I'm ready. I'm ready. Here we go. Let's go. Let's jump in. Ten Commandments for Christian helpers. Number one, actually, it's a Word document. Ha ha! Found it. This is what happens when you got too many windows open. Take it from me if you do lives. Don't have too many windows open. I can't do it all. That's number one. Ten Commandments for helpers. Can't do it all. All right? Good morning, Jacob. We're jumping in. Perfect timing. Ten Commandments for helpers, right? If you are a helper at all, you can't do it all, right? And sometimes as helpers, we expect to do more than is reasonable, more than is fair. And so I want to encourage you this morning by just reminding all of us that you need to take a deep breath and realize that you and I cannot do it all. For those of you on Instagram, this is going to be backwards for you. My apologies, but hang in there and you'll hear me say them all. So number one is you can't do it all. Well, hold on, Kev. What about Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things. Well, the end of that verse says, through Christ who helps me, right? And even Jesus didn't do it all. Even Jesus didn't raise everybody from the dead or feed everybody or etc., 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 right? Jesus didn't even do it all. So who on earth are you to expect that you can pull it all off? And sometimes it's good just to take a step back, even at the beginning of a new week, just to reflect on last week and realize, hey, what do you need to let yourself off the hook for? Now, there are other people who, frankly, need to put themselves on the hook for something. But usually helpers are not in that category because we tend to go a little harder on ourselves. I need to turn this. There we go. Okay. All right, that's better. Dolores, good morning. Great to have you. Happy belated Mother's Day to all of you. Numero two. Number one is you can't do it all. Number two is you can't please everyone. You can't please everyone. These are 10 commandments for Christian helpers. This is understand, appreciate, accept, embrace the fact that you can't please everyone. And yes, you've heard the cliches that look, if you try to people, you can't please all the people all the time. You know, you'll always be making someone unhappy or displeased with you if that becomes your goal, right? And so my encouragement to you is just, again, take a deep breath as you head into this week. This, pleasing everyone. My challenge to you is that you live your life for an audience of one. That's right, Kev, me. No, not you. Although, that you live your life for an audience of your maker. Yeah. I know, Kev, sure. Right now, God's not too happy with me because of choices I've made or whatever. Let me tell you this. There is nothing that you can do to make your Father in heaven love you any less. Nothing. And there's nothing that you will ever do to make him love you anymore. Oh well, then just give it all up as a bad job. If I can't move him, you can move him, but your behavior doesn't dictate the amount of love that your Father has for you. I'm going to say that again. Your behavior does not move the needle on how much your Father loves you. I think we need to marinate just right there. Just for a second or two. He loves you unconditionally. Now, he may not be pleased with some of your behavior. However, here's the deal. You can't please everyone. But if you are looking to everyone or anyone to give you a thumbs up, to tell you that you're all that in a bag of chips, to tell you that you are not a few slices from a full loaf or a few fries short of a happy meal, then the object of your acceptance or your approval, I'm suggesting to you this morning, at the beginning of a new week, is in the wrong area. It's set on the wrong qualifier. You can't please everyone. If God's your Father, in the relational sense, I mean, not in the creation sense, then He already tells you in Ephesians 1:6 that He's already accepted you in the beloved in Jesus, right? So you're already accepted by Him, and so. But I think a lot of us find ourselves, at least helpers, find themselves on these treadmills that just are never ending. Like, how do you know when you've done enough to have pleased them sufficiently? Well, you don't. You don't, because a new day happens and you're going to get back on that treadmill again. And that's one person. What about all the other people? So here's what the scripture says. As much as lies within you, live at peace with all men. As much as lies within you, live at peace with all men. Good morning, Pete. It's actually afternoon where you are, I think, in the planet, in England. So great to see you this morning. We're talking about 10 commandments for helpers, right? 10 commandments for people who love to help other people. First one is, I can't do it all, right? I can't do it. Can't do it. Not conduit, because you are called to be a conduit, right? A channel through which a power greater than you yourself and than ourselves can flow to experience fullness of life and love and leadership and everything in between. I can't do it all. So cut yourself some slack. Number two, you can't please everybody. You can't please everybody. You can't please everybody. All right? So number three, when you get 1 and 2 down, then it's easier to do this. Practice saying no today. Let me make that a bit of a no. Practice saying no today. Practice saying no today. It should be the hardest thing for me to do is say no. Just say no. And it wasn't even about substances. Just say no. Well, if I say no, then they won't be happy with me. Yes, see number 2 above. The goal is not to have everybody be happy with us, right? The goal is not to have everybody be happy with us. Hey, by the way, I missed this earlier. I want you to go to Facebook and just type in Live, Love, Lead with Kevin Daly. D-A-L-Y is my last name, right? Live, Love, Lead with Kevin Daly. And it's a group. I'd love you to jump into that group. It's free. And you will get updates throughout the day to encourage your day, recenter your noggin. And you'll be it'll be easier for you to get updates when you're inside of that group. And frankly, I'm going to stop doing these lives inside of my personal pages and stuff and just be doing them inside of that group. So make sure you join that group. Go to facebook.com/groups and then /Live, Love, Lead with Kevin Daly, or just type into to Facebook Live, Love, Lead with Kevin Daly. You can jump into that group. All right. That's it. That's my encouragement for you today. Okay, so can't do it all. Can't please everybody. Practice saying no today. No. Without, and I almost gave you the next one. But just no. No period is a sentence. No period is a sentence. Good morning, gnome lady. Happy belated Mother's Day to all of you, and all of you who do or don't have kids, for just playing the role of a mother in people's lives coming up through. Telling you, I stayed on many a friend's couch over the weekends when I was coming up. Many a mother made breakfast or made dinner or let me eat from their cupboards when I was growing up, just in my travels, right? Love me mom. So grateful for her. Had a lovely chat with her over the weekend as well. Okay, so that's it. Number 3. Number 4. How about we give you number 4? Number 4 is you don't owe anyone an excuse. You owe no one an excuse. We always feel like we have to explain ourselves. We always feel like we have to justify why we're doing whatever we're doing. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. You don't owe anybody an excuse. Now, let me just not start some fights here with you in your relationships, in your primary relationships, because I don't want you going home or saying to the one that you love, "Hey, my Irish brother or my cousin or my uncle said I don't owe you an excuse. So if you got a problem with that, take it up with him." Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying generally you don't, but actually even to the one that you love, you don't have to explain everything. Let me ask you this: did Jesus, when he walked on the planet, did he explain why he was doing what he was doing to everybody? No. Even sometimes to his inner circle, he didn't explain himself. Sometimes, can I just encourage you with this? Sometimes it's okay for them not to understand. Like sometimes it's okay for you not to understand, and somebody else doesn't owe you an excuse either. This ship, it goes two ways, right? You do not owe everybody an excuse. And that's huge for us because as helpers who love to help other people, we think, well, I have to rationalize, justify, explain myself. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't owe anybody an excuse. And the reason why we feel like we owe everybody else an excuse is because in part sometimes we're still looking to them too much to give us acceptance, approval, attention, whatever. The nod. You don't owe anybody an excuse. And 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 the more you practice that, the increase in your life of security will come. Because you're not looking to other people for security. So say hello, let me know where you're watching from, and we'll keep going. Okay, so number 5, I'm going to just go on to another page. All right, number five is alive. All right, number 5. We said number 1, quick recap, you can't do it all. So cut yourself some slack to Monday morning. You can't do it all. You can't please everybody. You can't please everybody. Until a man is at peace with himself, or a woman is at peace with themselves, they will be at war with everybody around them. Think on that one. Number 3, practice saying no. No, nah, I think I'll pass. Off you go. You'll be grand. No, can't join you. Sorry, love to, but not able to today. I have another commitment. For those of you who are like, no, I could just never just say no on its own. Give me something daily. Give me something. Here's something. I'm sorry, I can't join you today. I have another commitment. And if that's a little, here's something. I have another appointment. Now, even if that appointment is with yourself, that's another appointment. Some of you, as helpers, need to set more appointments with yourself, if you know what I mean. Okay? Number 4, you owe no one an excuse. You owe no one an excuse. That's a tough one for me, Kev. I know. Take it from one who's recovering still. You owe no one an excuse. Number 5, 10 Commandments for helpers. Number 5 is, you ready? You have all the time you need to do all God wants you to do. You have all the time you need to do all that God wants you to do. All the time you need to do all that God wants you to do. I wish there was more hours in the day, Kev. Come here to me. Well, there ain't. But you know what? There's plenty of time in your day to do everything that you want to do. When we get off this phone call, when we get off this live, I will complete my top 3 for my day. Top 3. Now I got a list of other things underneath, but my top three for the day are going to go in my diary. Yeah, can you believe in life after love? No, that's not what I'm not singing right now. Oh, can you believe that I'm using a paper calendar? Never thought I'd go back to a paper calendar. In fact, I don't even know if I started with one. But what I'm noticing is that, man, keeping stuff visual, like one of you said, just, and I don't know who you are. Thank you so much for the reminder. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Can I make this bigger? Make that smaller. I can. Yes, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. Thank you for the reminder. Um, and Jacob says, good morning. So, good morning to you, Jacob. Great to have you on this morning. And um, I receive your confession from Ireland that you are a helper. And good morning, Rebecca from Atlanta as well. All right, so let me let me plow on. How about we plow on? All right, Insta, man, I wish they had the same thing. As soon as Instagram lets us go live and post comments, then we'll be doing the same thing over there too. All right, you have all the time you need to do everything that God's called you to do. I didn't really say a whole lot about that, but let me say this and then we move on. All right. Stop speaking over yourself. There's not enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the day. Blast it. There's not enough time. I wish I had more time. When you speak that over yourself, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay. So what I want to encourage you to do is I want to encourage you to exchange that. I have all the time I need to do everything that I'm supposed to do. I have all the time I need to do everything I'm supposed to do. And what happens is that it shifts your head, stress decreases, you start to focus on what's the most important thing. What's the one thing I can do today that will move the needle for everything else or for a lot of other things, right? It's called eat the frog. Eat the frog. That's gross, Kev. Eat the frog. It's probably better than eat the snail. I've eaten snails. They do not taste good, just like rubber. Just take it from me, okay? But eat the frog. I've eaten frog's legs. Now, frog's legs live like chicken, to be honest. Live like chicken. Why are you saying eat the frog? Well, if you eat the frog first thing in the morning, if you eat the frog, if you eat the tough thing first thing, man, it just builds momentum into you for the rest of your day. All right? I could talk to the cows come home, but we got five more. So let me jump in. Number 6. I'm not anyone's last hope. Ooh, for helpers, this is good. I'm not anyone's last hope. You may say, Kev, I didn't say I was anybody's last hope. I know you didn't say that you're anybody's last hope. But sometimes we function like we are. You are not their Jesus. I never said I was their Jesus. I know. But sometimes we behave like we are. We behave like if I don't step up, if I don't step in, if I don't take responsibility for their behavior, then it's going to get worse. And I want to say, back off for just a second. If you don't take responsibility for their behavior, if you don't take responsibility for them, then there's age appropriate responsibility, right? When we're raising our kids, you are not anybody's last hope. Anybody's last hope. That's really important. That's really important. Every pot sits on its own kettle. No, every kettle, every pot sits on its own bottom. That's what it is. Every pot sits on its own bottom. And so I just want to encourage you that if you, as a helper, and sometimes for us as helpers, it's easier for us to have some more weight. Good morning, Martha. Lovely to have you with us. All right. So you are no one's last hope. Humongous gang. Take a boatload of weight off of you. You are not their Jesus. You are not their Savior. You are not their rescuer. Without you, they will survive. And I know that we could have conversations about all of this, but hey, if you've got a question, pop it in, and I would love to jump into it. Numero 7. I don't have all the answers, And that's okay. Sometimes as helpers, we think, I'm supposed to have all the answers. No, you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. Don't make up an answer if you don't know. You know what a beautiful 3 words are? I don't know, but I'll find out for you. You see, not knowing says nothing about you. Sometimes people think, well, I got to make something up. I got to say something. No, you don't. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything. So sometimes people, especially when people pass away, like, what do I say? I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. The power of your presence is greater than you have any idea. The gift of your presence is 1,000 words. It's more than 1,000 words. You're not just a picture. You don't have all the answers, and that is okay. Thank you for the love on Insta. If this is resonating with you on Facebook, then say so, if you'd be so kind. All right. Number 7. Okay, number 8. You ready? Numero 8. Number 8 is, oh, this is a good one for helpers. Just because I can doesn't mean I'm supposed to. Oh. Just because you can doesn't mean you're supposed to. Just because you can doesn't mean you're supposed to. Did Jesus heal everybody from the dead? Heal everybody who was sick? No. Did he raise everybody from the dead? No. Did he feed everybody? No. Could he have? Probably. I mean, yes. Just because you can doesn't mean you're supposed to. How did he know who to heal, who to feed, who to raise from the dead? Just because you can doesn't mean you have to or supposed to. How did he know? Kev, how do you know? He knew the same way you and I are called to know today. That when we have a relationship with our Maker, he promises to lead, guide, and direct us. This is what Jesus said. Look, lads, I have to go. Okay, I mean, Jesus said that. I have to go. I have to go. He said, I have to go. But even though I'm going to go, I'm going to send another. And he is going to guide you into all truth. Romans 8:32 says, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Holy Spirit has been gifted to us to guide us into all truth. The same way Jesus knew what to do, what to say, what not to do, what not to say, where to go, where not to go, and when to go, is the same power that you and I possess this day. Now, most of us, we don't check in. Like, we don't be asking, Lord, so, like, would this be good for me to do today? Hey, guide me today, Lord, will you? I mean, when some of us aren't asking that question. Like, Kev, honestly, I've had so many people say, seriously? Seriously? It didn't even dawn on me to ask that question. Okay, well, that's okay. So let's begin to be a little bit more intentional about including him. Somebody's asking, why do we fight freedom? Well, sometimes, that's a great question. Sometimes we fight freedom because we think we know better. Sometimes we fight freedom because the path to freedom isn't a comfortable one. Like, freedom's never free. Somebody has to pay the price. But ultimately, God paid the price. Jesus paid the price, right? For your freedom. But to walk out, like, to experience that freedom, sometimes there's like, sometimes so other people don't want you necessarily to be free, because if you live and move and do life in greater degrees of freedom, sometimes that messes up their plan or their agenda for your life. There's a lot of reasons, but that's a great question. Sometimes it's not comfortable. Sometimes people don't want to pay the price. Freedom's not free. Somebody's paid for your freedom. I mean, ultimately, Jesus paid for our freedom. Gifts aren't free. Somebody pays the price for the gift, right? Jesus paid the price for our ultimate gift, right? All right, almost there. Number two. Number nine. Two left is what I was going to say. Two left. Number nine. I will not compare myself to others. I will not compare myself to others, positions, talents, or possessions. Okay? Don't compare yourself to don't compare to others, positions, talents, or possessions. I won't compare. I'm content, right? I'm content, right? Woo! Okay, got two for you right here. I won't compare myself to anybody else's positions, talents, or possessions, right? I'm content. First of all, let me tell you this. Paul, brilliant, like apostle, follower of Jesus, right? Brilliant. Wrote like three quarters of the New Testament. Okay, this is what Paul said, right? Paul said, "I have learned in whatever state I am therewith to be content." Even Paulie had to learn contentment. Okay, contentment ain't just a clicking of fingers and I'm content now, right? So we're all on this journey to be content with such things as you have, right? And the whole marketing industry as a whole is saying, hey, you're not okay as you are, and you will not be okay until you buy into whatever we're selling. That's the marketing, that's the advertising industry right there. You are not okay as you are, and you will not be okay until you buy what we're pushing. And then the moment you buy what they're pushing, I mean, don't take long at all before you're on the old one. You need the updated one. You need the most relevant. You know, you drive the car off the lot, and it's lost 25% of its value, give or take, right? So that's the first thought. Is Paul says, I have learned in whatever state I am there to be content. And the second thought about number 9 is that there's another verse that says, those who compare themselves among themselves are not wise. Hello. So be careful not to fall into the comparison trap, basically, because you want to live a wise life. I will not compare myself to others' positions, talents, or their possessions. I'm content. And that takes practice. And it's okay. All right? You ready for numero 10? Are you ready for numero 10? Numero 10 says, I can risk standing alone. Ooh. And not being controlled by others. I can risk standing alone and not being controlled by others. I can risk standing alone and not being controlled by others. You see, my friend, when you apply these 10 commandments for helpers to your life, and don't worry about applying all of them, just take one. Today, just take one. Take massive imperfect action today. Most people consume. They don't take action. Most people consume. It's so much easier to consume than it is to take action. But it's so much easier to take one step than think about 50 steps that you have to take. I just want to encourage you to take one step today. Take massive imperfect action today. And if you are sensing any level of passion coming from your Irish brother, it is because this is all of our stories. Stop consuming and take action now, today. Get off this live, go take action on anything that I have shared with you. Get feedback and then iterate, right? Then edit, then change. It is for freedom that Christ has set you free, is what the scriptures tell us. But freedom is experienced degree by degree the more we walk in the truth. So I don't know what time your truth, or I don't know what your truth is. I don't know what action step you would be best to take, but I want to encourage you to take it. Take it, take it, take it. And when you do, you can risk standing alone and not being controlled by others' opinions, others' expectations, others' disagreements with you, you can walk in your truest identity, in the best of you, as you, even as a helper, as you discern by the one who's promised to guide you into all truth. And you will, this is, you want a prescription for burnout? This is your prescription for burnout. For burnout prevention, I should say. Your prescription for burnout prevention is 10 Commandments. Ready? Number 1. I can't do it all. Number 1, I can't. Number 2, I can't please everybody. Can't please everybody. Number 3, practice saying no today. Just practice saying no today. Practice saying no today. Number 4, I do not owe anybody an excuse. You do not owe anybody an excuse. Number 5, can't count. Number 5, I have all the time I need to do all that I'm supposed to do in this day. All the time I need to do all I'm supposed to do in this day. Number 6, I'm not anybody's last hope. You are not anyone's last hope. Let that sink in, gang. Because if I'm your enemy, I want you carrying weight on your shoulders that you have no business carrying. 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your care onto him because he cares about you. He wants you living life as his kid inside of his yoke, which is easy, and his burden is light because it's his yoke, because he's carrying the bulk of the weight. Number 7, I do not have all the answers, and that's okay. Number 8, just because you can doesn't mean you're supposed to. Just because you can doesn't mean you're supposed to. Number 9, I will not compare myself to others' positions, talents, or possessions. I'm content. And that's maybe a journey. It was a journey for Paul. It's a journey for a lot of us, right? But don't fall into comparison trap, because you're not wise, is what the manual says. All right, we want to be wise. So catch yourself when you start comparing. Catch yourself, challenge yourself, change yourself. With the greatest change maker on the planet. And then I can risk standing alone and not being controlled by others. I trust today has been of help to you. If it has, please sprinkle the love with others in your community. And we have some more goodies. Hey, it was Mother's Day yesterday. If you didn't receive an email from us, then you need to jump on my website and sign up for our emails. We are gifting away to mothers who have not darkened the door of BCI virtually or in person, a free gift of a counseling session or a spiritual direction session or a life coaching session. So if you're a mom and you're listening right now, please, you don't have to do anything. Just call 800-910. You've got the number on the screen. And if you don't, 800-910-5060. Call and say, my Irish brother said, I'm a mum and you're giving me a free session. Yeah. No catch, no strings. We'll just figure out which would be a best fit for you. You have to schedule it before the end of this week. And we'd be honored to gift you in that way. We just want to say thank you to mothers all over the planet. We have a limited number of them, so I'm going to say get in as quick as you can. You can email info@brokenchainsintl.com. And we'll pour back into you in that way as well. And you may say, well, what about me? I have come to Broken Chains. Thank you so much for your trust. The part of the motivation for this is to encourage others who have not been. And so I want to encourage you, if you've tasted the encouragement, the safety, the perspective, the offloading, the safe just soundboarding experience of a counseling session or a coaching session or a spiritual direction session or a debriefing session, then share the love and your friends will be grateful to you. You will save them some serious dosh. So we've received a gift, and we want to pass that on to you. And so the mothers in your life, let them know, and they'll be blessed, right? They'll be blessed. We have 15 of us all together, and not all of them will be available, but the vast majority of them will be. So jump in. Hey, bless your Monday. Happy belated Mother's Day. Whether you had a good, bad, or indifferent relationship, let me tell you, there's a Maker in heaven who wants to be a father to you, who wants to be a mother to you, who wants to be a brother to you, who wants to be a friend to you, if you let him. So I want to encourage you, let him, and go live. One, take massive imperfect action even on one of these imperfect, no, yeah, 10 commandments for helpers. All right, enjoy. God love you. God bless you. I'll see you down the road. If we can help you in any way, give us a call, and join this free Facebook group, because I will be stopping posting these kind of teaching and training in my personal pages, and you will get notified in the Facebook group. That's free for you to join, right? Live, Love, Lead with Kevin Daly, and that's Daly with no I, just Daly. Bless you. Take care.